So welcome to tonight's show. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve, and this is NRL from the Sidelines. And this week we're going to talk about round 4. Gentlemen, how are you tonight?
Fantastic.
We've come off a great week with State of Origin, a
Yes.
wonderful New South Wales win, which
Yes.
we talked about last week, so we don't need to go into too much of it
Can
today.
we mention the scoreline though?
What was the scoreline, Brian?
That would be 50-6, Steve.
50-6.
50-6,
Wow.
biggest win in New South Wales history.
Do we have a lot of followers on this show who follow Queensland?
Probably, but we don't care about them.
No, that's just not true. We do. We love you all.
No, we don't. Not Queenslanders, not a State of Origin time.
Well, after a 50-6 win.
Nope, I have no mercy. I hope we win the next game 70-6.
You are so harsh.
No, I'm not. It's factual.
Tom, you doing well?
Yeah, look, it's a sad day today because Boyd Cordner announced his retirement, as I'm sure everybody knows. A great warrior in the game and a great Roosters legend, and it's going to be sad to see him go. But he made a good call because he was actually physically ready to play, but he realised that if he had another head knock, he just didn't know if he could live with himself. So he's made a tough call, but good on him, and he'll be remembered for ever in the Roosters.
And I've got to say, and you know how much I like the Roosters.
Not.
Not.
Yes.
He is someone you could look at and say, no, I really respect. I love the way he played. You know, he was a good player for the Roosters.
Oh, yeah. Put his body on the line every time, and he was the kind of player who said, "Follow me."
Yeah.
You know, and good for him.
Yeah.
Be a real loss.
All right, so gentlemen, let's talk about round 14. And hey, we're going to go to Four Pines Park. It's still a sand pit, but Four Pines Park. Because you know pine trees grow well in sand, right? That's why they're all on the beach.
Anything
So
better
like-
than the previous name you're saying.
That's right, yeah.
Say what you like.
Where the Manly Sea Eagles beat North Queensland 50-18.
Pumped them.
And they started 10-0 down, didn't they? To begin
Started
with?
12-0 down, Tom.
12-0 down. Okay.
12-0 down after 8 minutes. So I barely had time to crack a beer and sit down and settle in to watch the match without the majestic Tommy Turbo running the show. And North Queensland are 12-0 after 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me
Looked
just
like it was going to be a shellacking.
let me just say there was a temptation to turn it off.
Yes.
So yeah, what a great game. What a fantastic. Yeah, there was some standout players, and
Yep.
Tell you that Olakau'atu's
Told ya.
prospect, isn't he?
I told you.
Yeah. He's built a little bit like a Tino, I think, or who was I also thinking about?
He's Jason Taumalolo's cousin.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's a
So,
big
yeah.
boy, and he's got good footwork, got a
Yep.
bit of ball playing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, he's a good pickup.
That second try of his where he plucked it out of the air and 8 meters out and managed to over the line. That was sensational. Like
Yeah.
yeah. Oh no, and Lachlan Croker played well.
Yep.
Ruben Garrick at the back was fantastic.
Yep.
That's what we were discussing. Some players who aren't particularly quick still in a good team. They look very quick. You scorched away for 100-meter try. He hasn't done that for 3 years. What's going on?
Well, and I tell you what, there was a time not that long ago when you thought Ruben Garrick,
Yeah, I thought he
he's
was
not that good.
No,
He was dropping a lot of ball. So he's put
Yeah.
a lot of effort
he's
into his
growing
game.
as a player. Yeah, and DCE had a good game after having to back up from
Hey, look at that.
from that shellacking by New South Wales.
He can play without Tom. And a special shout out to poor Val Holmes.
Why?
Well, Val Holmes is now at 100 points put on him in 2 games.
I know.
Like, wow.
All right.
I mean, and Val Holmes didn't have a bad game.
No, he didn't. But Sea Eagles completion rate 84% against Cowboys 61.
Oh, yeah.
That,
Yep.
84% is impressive.
Yeah, their confidence is riding high at the moment. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to the next few weeks.
And as you said, you've got a really good run home.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Manly and the rest of the run home only play 2 teams above them on the ladder. That would be Parramatta and Melbourne. Yeah. And I don't particularly think that we would fear either of those teams. So I'm happy.
You wouldn't fear Melbourne.
No, we've got a good we've got a good record against Melbourne. So
I tell you,
bring it.
You'd want to get Melbourne on an off day.
I wouldn't want to play Melbourne without Tom. You need to be at full strength to beat Melbourne.
That's right. All
During,
right, let's
during
get
that decade of dumbness, wasn't it? Was it
Oh,
called?
get over yourself.
Let's go to
Yeah,
the
Nico.
Strata Jubilee Stadium where the Cronulla Sharks 19 beat the Penrith Panthers 18. Now, gentlemen, this was the ultimate game of two halves. This truly was. You know, you get the Sharks get out to a huge lead, 18-point lead.
Yep.
And Panthers come back in the second half and level 18 all.
It just goes to show that the Panthers drop an enormous amount once they lose their stars. Once they lose their halves.
But every team does that.
Oh, look, some teams can maintain a level of quality. That would worry me, the Panthers, if they actually lose Luai or Cleary somewhere during the back end of this season.
No, I think if they lose Luai and Cleary, they're in trouble. But
yeah, but look, I think that, you know, look how many games Melbourne used to lose without Cameron Smith. You know, you take Turbo and Cherry Evans out of Manly, you take, you know, the halves. I think it's going to happen in any team. I got no doubt about that. Look at the Roosters are struggling, and they got three or four main players out.
8 or 9.
They're all main players at the Roosters.
Well, they are. I can list them for you if you want. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, look, you know, and you know, I think Matt Burton, I think is starting to find his feet as that replacement. Didn't do too well last week, but this week he was a lot better.
Yeah. No, last week he did have a shocker, but look, I don't know. I think this is Matt Burton's life. I hope he gets used to that, playing with behind with a team with not a superstar team around him, because next year is going to be very hard for him.
So, how do you think Sean Johnson went? So, leaving the Sharks next year.
We kicked a field goal.
Well, yes.
It was the ugliest field goal you want to see.
He's also scored one try and kicked 1, 2, 3 penalty goals.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't want him.
Neither do I. I'm surprised.
I mean, if you're a club that's, you know, on the edge with a halfback, surely you take him.
You'd imagine that Craig Fitzgibbon's got something in the wings, I'd say. There's been talk about some other players that he's looking to pick up. So he must have a plan, I would think.
Don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Don't know what it is, because the halfbacks have been snapped up, and I can't see anyone else heading over there.
Well, there's rumours that Flanagan's going, but would you take Flanagan over Johnson?
Well, there's also talk about Pearce, to be honest.
There is talk about Mitchell Pearce too.
And he's played with and been coached by Craig Fitzgibbon. So,
all right, let's go on to Seabus Super Stadium, where the Gold Coast Titans narrowly lost to the Roosters 35-34. Again, game of two halves. Yeah, Roosters ahead 30-4.
Yeah, and look, the Titans just decided to play. We've got nothing to lose football, and like one of the tries that they scored, I think it was the one that Fogarty, the first one that Fogarty scored, or the second one that Fogarty scored. The penalty was given. The Roosters were having a drink, and he decided to take a quick tap and ran straight through the line. I mean, that's just unforgivable. And then Marshke, very innocuously, but he made contact with Fogarty's head. It was certainly not intentional. As he backed away from him, they scored 3 tries. I mean, you know, they play. They've got some good little men. When Peachy comes on, it's like, what's going to happen? You know, when he has the ball in his hands, you don't know what's going to happen. And this combination between him and Fogarty is very, very good. Yeah. Problem is, they can't sustain it, and they don't do it for long enough. But I thought the Roosters were really good in tying down Tino and Fafita for a lot of part of the game.
Yeah. Look, I'm concerned. I'm concerned about the Titans. It's like the Titans have really got this game plan. It is, hey, let's pass the ball to the big guy and see what he can do.
That's right, and we worked on that, and the Roosters worked on that.
I don't understand, when you look across their team, there's some really good, talented players
some good
there.
Game breakers there.
I mean, even Brian Kelly looked on fire earlier in the year, but now he barely gets the ball because they pass it out to Fafita and it dies.
They look like they don't have a plan, is the problem, you know. And like I said, the second half, they just thought, well, let's throw it around because we've got nothing to lose. And, you know, the Roosters were caught unawares. Sam Walker went down with his good shoulder, because he had no choice. He was thrown onto his good shoulder. Came back with 5 minutes to go. He wasn't the reason for the try, but he kicked the field goal. And look, it's great to see confidence in a young kid like that. Yeah. Matty Kavalu, he's not a superstar, but geez, I tell you what, he can score a try out wide. And he's starting to cement his spot there since Brett Morris has gone. So good for him. He's a quality player, and he's only going to get better, I think.
And as Steve said, the slowest last minute in NRL history.
Was it ever? Honestly, it was so slow.
But I mean, would your team do it?
Every
Of
team.
Yeah,
course
but that
you
was
would.
slow.
Of course you would. Jared Roy-Hargraves, he walks faster than that.
I tell you, it
was a shocker.
But anyway.
I loved it.
Stadium Australia, where the South Sydney Rabbitohs beat Newcastle 24-10. South again never got out of second gear.
Yeah, which is good and a concern at the same time, because you think they should be nailing games more.
That's my problem. They should have scored another 3 or 4 tries, and they either didn't or couldn't.
Yeah.
It's almost like, we'll just turn up and we know we can win.
Yeah.
That's
the
not a good
Knights.
attitude.
The Knights actually weren't terrible though.
No, the Knights weren't terrible at all.
So, and this is another team that you go. How do you pick their form? The Knights.
Yeah.
They come out and had a good game against Manly and won. Last week they were woeful at Old Boys Day.
Yeah.
And they come out against South, and I'm thinking, why did I pick South? This could be anything.
Yeah.
And then they just fell over. And
The interesting part was South. They said that South focused on their defence the last couple of weeks because it's been so bad. That's great, but you know what? Their completion rate was only 67%. They still won by 24-10 against a team that had an 86% completion rate. But they can't seem to do too many things at once. They're not multitasking. They can attack or defend or complete, but they can't do all of them.
Can't do 2 out of 3 even. Yeah.
So the Bunnies have got real problems. I think they can't mix it with the big guys.
No.
And the little I saw
don't
of
think so.
Latrell, because I only saw the highlights.
Latrell was superb the other night. No, he truly was.
He was good.
He was very.
He looked tired every time I saw him. He looked
really
tired.
Was, and that's why he made a few mistakes.
Because he's such a great centre.
He's a great centre.
Seriously,
He's a great centre who can play fullback.
Listen, I know you're well experienced in the game, but you really
No, I'm well experienced. I'm well experienced at the Roosters and Latrell Mitchell. I can tell you,
Stand back and watch
an
him.
elite
Wayne
centre.
Bennett, do
He's
you?
an elite centre.
You know more than Wayne
Look,
Bennett.
he's there because Latrell was looking for a fullback gig, and that's what he was offered.
And Wayne Bennett saw him as a fullback.
Oh no! Wayne Bennett saw this is a guy who can play football, and I might end up having to put him in centres. But at the moment, I'm going to humour him at fullback, and then he's realised that he's the best fullback they've got.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
Can I just say, Tom, I have to disagree with you there.
Oh, really?
Well, that wouldn't be the first time. But go on.
No, well, I'm agreeing with Steve.
I think.
Well, kind of agreeing with Steve.
I need to hear this.
I'm agreeing with Wayne Bennett.
Yeah.
If you look at that squad,
Yeah.
Latrell Mitchell is the best option.
I just said
fullback.
that. I just said that.
So
it doesn't mean he's not a better centre.
no,
and a
it
great
means
centre.
he's the best option for fullback.
Correct. I'm
So
not
just
arguing
leave
with
it at
that.
that.
I'm not arguing with that.
But you see, you guys never even saw Greg Inglis as a fullback. And he
'cause
was
he
a
wasn't.
superb
Because he was a centre.
See,
I mean, they're almost clones of each other,
Yeah,
really.
he was a pretty average
tell you
5'8"
what,
and a pretty
I
average fullback, but he was a
would
bloody
much-
good centre.
Great.
I'd much
Centre.
prefer Bennett
Great
coaching than you
centre.
guys because I'll tell you what, he knows what he's talking about.
And just one quote. That Dominic Young from the Knights.
Yeah, he was good.
Well, he looks like he could be anything. I know
did see him.
he's a big pommy centre who's what they say he's like 6'5",
he's the guy with
105
the-
kilos.
with the
Yeah,
dreads.
Woo!
Yeah. He's
man. If he hits the ball hard.
Yeah.
So
There
yeah.
was a young kid who came on for South as hooker. I can't remember what his name is. Peter something.
Mazulius or
Yeah,
something like that.
Yep.
he was impressive as well. For a young kid, very much in the Damien Cook mould.
How do you think Jake Clifford's going at the Knights?
I thought he had a good game.
He had patches of good.
He's adding to them, I think.
He's just not got enough around him.
Yeah.
Geo Stadium, where the Canberra Raiders 38 beat Brisbane Broncos 16.
Why? Why did I pick the Broncos?
I don't know, Brian.
Why?
Why would you do such
Well,
a
I
silly
thought
thing?
you know
all
what
on you.
the Raiders have been cold. The Broncos have had flashes of good. The Raiders have had a turbulent week.
Yes.
And I thought that's it. They're looking at. They're chasing Matt Duffy because they don't have a fullback. They're getting rid of Curtis Scott. Like they're in disarray.
Yeah.
How did they 30? How? All right, that's all.
They
Yeah,
played
no,
more. Played more to their form. To their previous form.
I don't understand how bad the Broncos are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their defence is awful. Absolutely awful.
And it was interesting. I was listening to, I can't remember who it was, the day after, and they were talking about how the Broncos always seem to turn their shoulders in, and which puts them out of the pace of the ball. Now, unlike you guys, I'm not an absolute expert on knowing.
Neither am I. I'm not.
I am. Continue on.
Well,
That's why.
except when it comes to
that's why I could
Latrell
coach the
Mitchell.
Bunnies.
Latrell Mitchell,
Correct.
an expert. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if it seems like they need a new defensive structure because it isn't working for them.
Yeah, they go out bunched. You know, and a team that spreads the ball from side to side just has the advantage all over them.
Yeah.
But like I said, I expected more. And can I just say, the softest send-off I've seen in my entire
We're going to
life.
talk about that on the next show because there was a couple over this weekend that were just ridiculous.
Yep.
But that was a send-off.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
All right, continuing on then.
Ordinary.
I know.
Just don't
Brian,
pick the
be
Broncos
careful.
again.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for. Told you weeks ago.
Oh, please.
Okay, let's go on to Warriors at Central Coast Stadium where they went down to Melbourne 42-16. And Sally, a regular listener who's a Melbourne supporter, again picked the Warriors. Sally, what are you doing?
Oh well.
She's picking the opposite so that she wins either way.
Yes, she's
Look, so the Brandon Smith Storm beat the Warriors. Brandon Smith was exceptional, I thought. He was everywhere, did everything. I thought he had a great game.
Tom wants him to go to the Roosters.
Brandon Smith. Yeah, look, we've got money now, so we lost all our players.
They'll have a lot of money next year.
Brandon Smith, I think, would be a great pickup for the
Well,
Roosters.
look, he'd go there for $100,000 because Uncle Nick will give him a car and a house and a brown paper bag.
He doesn't
I
have to
have to
give him
return.
$500,000.
I have to return the text message. I'm sorry,
never-
giving this right in the middle of the
All right.
I have to.
Oh, okay. Tom's playing text
Okay,
message.
Tom's out.
I have
So
to.
what do you
I
think?
have to.
So big old Kenny Marmalade, Kenny Marmalade is off to the Tigers.
Yeah, scored 3 tries.
Scored 3 tries, and they all said, "See you later, son. We don't want you here." What's the go with the Warriors?
I don't know. Well, the rumour has it they're going to get Zelezniak from the Dogs.
Oh, so
Yeah, you're not really swapping out
Oh.
one. You're not getting someone better.
I like Zelezniak. He's more versatile.
So,
but why would you get rid of
I don't know.
a big, devastating winger?
Yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't get it.
Well, at least in his defence, the Tigers are actually buying someone of quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, maybe they made him an offer he couldn't refuse. You know.
And I've got to say,
What, in round 14?
it was touching to see him cry
Yeah.
after scoring his 3rd try because you put a lot into these teams and all of a sudden you're told you're not wanted, so go somewhere else.
Yeah,
And in
absolutely.
your last game you score 3 tries. I mean,
Yeah, look,
Yep.
no, well done, Storm.
Okay, Bankwest Stadium where the Parramatta Eels beat the Tigers 40-12, and boy did they need this new winger coming through. But Parramatta were good.
Yeah. And look,
Arrogantly good, I thought.
Oh.
They're getting an arrogance about them.
Can I just say, look, you know what? People say that Penrith are arrogant. Penrith, they're jubilant.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see this the same.
But I think Penrith have actually changed a little bit, and Parramatta are now becoming the new.
Yeah, but you watch when Penrith score, even in the early days, like us, the old schoolers go, oh geez, they're show ponies, but they're just jubilant. They're high fiving and jumping all over, and it's a team effort.
Yeah.
It was
This is
patting
like
on the opposition heads and stuff that people didn't like. But
look, Clint Gutherson.
He's doing
seriously.
the Guth Arena.
Yeah, he's
the Guth Arena.
Oh,
Yeah.
and just the filth that he throws at opposition when he scores and stuff.
Yeah.
He's
starting to do that stuff.
Oh,
And
He doesn't need
Moses broke through the line and he had every opportunity to throw to Gutherson, and he decided to run the ball, and he could have been tackled, and I thought that was a bit arrogant. And then also he passed to Sevo in the next try, and then it's the arms out, it's the Hayne playing, look at me, look at us,
Oh, but
And I just think
it's not even that. I mean, there was a time in which Moses ran up to Gutherson, absolutely swearing at him because he was worried he's going to take a kick. They're 30 points or something in front, and he's going off his rocker, and they didn't score from that anyway, if I remember.
And apparently
rightly.
Gutho was telling him who was captain.
Yeah, and so he should. Very clear. And Moses drops the ball over the line. I mean, that was a bit of a...
Yeah.
But there's big... And look, maybe that's what they need. Maybe this is what Parramatta needs to be the team they should be.
Well, I tell you what,
to
they're
be
getting a
arrogant.
role. They're getting a role on whoever they're playing. They're starting to play with some authority, and
No, they're not.
I think they
Oh,
are.
I think they are too.
They're
Yeah.
playing with some authority now.
Yeah, they're starting to be...
Yeah, I think they are.
Yeah.
Just the last couple of weeks, I think they're starting to show a bit of authority in the way they play.
Yeah.
And look,
All right, okay.
Melbourne have now hit the hit the top of the ladder. So I think it's still probably a 2-horse race, but I think the Eels are certainly in the conversation.
Sorry, I forgot the Eels had the Knights. Sorry, yeah. So they've beaten the Knights, who are nobody. They've beaten Nufties and Nufties.
Well,
yeah, but they're still up there.
But when you can score points confidently like that, that'll hold you in good stead against the better teams.
Yeah.
Really? Because the time before that they played Manly and got flogged.
Right. There's 2 teams that look set to battle it out. There's 2 teams that South and Parramatta could trouble them, but I doubt it. The Roosters maybe, but I doubt it. They just don't have the
missing
the
too
talent.
many players.
And then there's everybody else.
Yeah.
Right now.
Whoa!
Seriously.
No. You know what? I'll just let you have it. I'll just let you have it.
Use your fishing rod. Reeling you in, Brian.
Canterbury at Stadium Australia, Canterbury Bulldogs 28 beat the Dragons 6.
I'm finding it really hard not to bang this on the table now.
So the Dogs didn't have a full 100% completion rate. They had 93. I thought they actually completed.
Must have been 100% in the second half.
Yeah,
And I've got to say, the Dragons threw nothing at them, but they were impressive.
Well, the dogs always complete high. They hold the ball well. They just can usually never do anything with it. But today was an exception where they actually took their opportunities.
I don't know. They just looked like they wanted it more. There were a couple of tries there, like Adam Elliott's.
Didn't I just say that?
Well, no. You said they took their opportunities.
Yeah, they did.
I'm saying they just wanted it a little bit more. And there was
the Dragons left the line open. They took their opportunities and scored. That's what I'm telling you.
Oh, please! You did not say that. You need to explain more clearly.
Go back to the recording, do we?
Honestly,
explain it more clearly, Tom.
Honestly,
right. You on?
No, I'm just waiting for you two to stop rambling.
I thought the Bulldogs were terrible and the Dragons were worse.
Are you kidding?
Yep. I think any other team in the comp would have beaten the Bulldogs. They were not good.
Why you don't see Latrell Mitchell as a fullback? Because you don't know anything. The Dogs were good. The Dogs, yes, they don't have. Sit the doll over there. Pick it up. The doll.
He's retired.
Take a cuddle and cry. Okay.
He needs it now. He's retired.
Right, I'll just lie him down dead.
He's gonna have a rest.
Actually, you should take him home.
Yeah,
you should take him home. There you go. We give you Jake. What were we saying? The Dogs were terrible and the Dragons were worse.
Good, but the Dogs just can't seem to score a lot of points.
They didn't do anything. The tries they scored were 5 metres out from the line, darts from dummy halves, or pushover from forwards. They weren't that good.
No, I'm not saying they were that good.
And if Manly did
they were terrible.
He would say they're brilliant.
They had a 93% completion rate. They had 58% possession. I don't know what you didn't like about them.
Give credit where credit's due.
I'm saying they won.
They missed 16 tackles to
35. Because the Dragons were that bad.
But
it's like player who's in front of you.
The try by Marshall King, it's like, I could have scored that.
No, you couldn't.
Yes.
No, you couldn't.
Yes, the nearly 50-year-old fat ball guy could have picked up the ball and strolled over the line because there was no one there.
There was a 50-year-old fat ball guy on the...
All right, okay.
Okay, so who wants to do the ladder, gentlemen?
Yeah, all right. Okay. So, for the first time this year, the Panthers are not the top team. The Storm are on top. Same points, but a higher for and against. The Panthers are second. The Eels are third. The Rabbitohs fourth. And the Roosters, Sea Eagles, Cowboys and Dragons round out the 8. The Dragons will be very nervous. Oops, sorry. I just made a bit of a blunder there.
I don't know what he's talking about.
So then we have in 9th position the Sharks, followed by the Raiders, the Warriors, the Titans, the West Tigers, the Knights, the Broncos, and the Dogs now with 2 wins.
Hey, the Dogs are last.
They're still last.
Hey, can I just say, I don't know why the Dogs are last because their points differential is exactly the same as the Broncos.
Yeah, well, BR comes before BU.
Because the Broncos haven't had a bye where the Dogs have. So they've won 3 games. So
all right, I'll give it to them.
Yep.
Jeez.
That's how it works.
I hope the Broncos beat the bye. I hate the Bulldogs beat the bye. All right.
That brought dreams to an end. Do you want to end up with anything intelligent? Or
no, let's just stop picking on me.
Right.
Oh,
Stop picking on me.
him.
Stop picking on me.
We get him a tissue.
Do you want to end with anything intelligent, Tom, or are you done as well?
No, I've already given you all of that.
Thank you for watching. This is Tom, Brown and Stephen on NRL from the Sidelines, and we will do it all again next week. Keep an eye out for the next show.
I need Boydo.
Bye.